Thanks for coming over. This is Amodeus. Today's Dungeon & Champion video is about the Bee Infestation Event happening right now. So, if you look at the event tab, the Queen Bee has been inducted into the Eternal Contest. Long may she reign. Exclusively during the Bee Infestation Event, invokers will be able to summon all elements of the Queen Bee in the ritual summoning. Unleash the contents of the Riot Box and the Beehive in the event shop to gather the necessary ritual materials. Okay. So let's just skip down. What's going on here? Okay, so first and foremost, there's a milestone event that's running every day for the next 7 days. You need 300 points to collect everything, and the way to get those points is to spend energy, whether it's PvP, PvE, doesn't matter. You can also summon 3, 4, and 5-star champions to get 5 points. Now, why is it so important to gather these points? It's because every day, these are the rewards you can get. So by doing your normal farming, spending 300 energy, you can get 1 riot token. And let's not forget that with the changes to the event tabs, you do have to go in and claim those right below the little bee. So once you've gone through here and you've completed all 300 energy spends or the summons or whatever you have to do, remember to hit the little claim button. You get your riot token and then you're ready to go to the shop. Once you're in the shop, what do? You spend that riot token on a riot box. The riot box gives you the ability to get a couple of different things. One of those is that royal jelly, and then you have a chance at a tutor puff and some other things. Very low chances, but you do have the opportunity. Now, the thing that you will also have the opportunity to get is a honey jar, right? 10% drop. You know, 1 rare shard, 40% drop is brutal. So I guess that's rough, man. That's just it's kind of an awful reward. I'm be so frustrated when I get those, because I'll definitely get those. Now, what I will say is that the honey can be used to purchase the beehive. The beehive is the way for you to get the light, dark, nature, water, and fire bees. You can use common discs to summon the nature, water, and fire ones, but the only way to get the light and dark ones, if you don't already have them, from like arena events or something like that, is to actually go in here and spend money or spend gems on beehives or honey to then go and use that honey to make a purchase for the beehive. And then look at that. The 1-star light and the 1-star dark are 3.5% drop chance, so you're probably not going to get those. But man, good luck to you if this is the route you want to go. That you've gotten whatever bees you want to get them to 4-star, max level 40, go to your ritual summoning tab, use that royal jelly, and summon that queen bee. Let's actually take a look at them. Alright, so here's Gabby, the dark bee. So what can she do? Well, she's got the first skill, the auto attack, the bebop, basically fire lasers at an enemy. Bonus damage is based on move speed. That is a really unpleasant way to spell move speed. Bebelon. Be like Babylon, but Bebelon. I know. It's just puns all day. Dad jokes all around, man. Beware of the fury of the queen bee. Locks orientation in a direction and strays for several seconds while bees fire rapidly in a line. So you can move back and forth with this, but she's shooting in one direction, which actually sounds pretty cool, depending on how much damage she does. Because bee bombardment, which is really where she just bombards an area. She sends a swarm of bees at a destination. Then this bees explode. I would think kind of like the bombers with their boomlings. And then it not only deals damage though, but it also lowers defense. I wonder which way that does it. Does it lower defense and then deal damage? Who knows? But once again, move speed is the bonus damage. Now in the stream yesterday, they said this scales off of move speed. But scaling off of move speed and additional damage based on move speed have traditionally been 2 different things, as the developers, or at least GameLoft.Dan has explained it to the community. So I'm curious to do some testing with that, because they in the video actually said it scaled off of move speed, which would be pretty cool, and I'll be interested to see how that works out, but we'll see. The last skill is Bee Team. Gives enemies the gift of bees, sending a swarm of them in a direction. Periodically deals damage and marks on first hit. Bonus damage, once again, based on speed, or move speed. So this is Bedelia, and look at her first skill, to be or not to be. Shoots bee lasers at an enemy, dealing damage, right? That's what the rest of them do. They all do that. But she has a passive. Whenever an attack would lower an ally's health below 0, there is a 50% chance to prevent this damage and heal 10% of that ally's max HP. That's legit. That is an awesome passive, right? The target cannot be saved by other effects that prevent death for a short time. When health drop, now this is also her passive. When the health drops below 30%, the queen bee gains a shield, and bonus damage and shield amount will be based on move speed. So everything being tied to move speed in this particular instance could be really huge, right? We'll have to see how that scales. Plan B is the next skill. Gets help from her pet bees for a duration. Each second, each bee fires a stinger at the closest enemy, dealing damage or implying a stack of weakness. Removes one buff from each ally. Removes one debuff from each ally every second for the duration. That's ridiculously strong. So there's anti-death mechanics, there's shielding mechanics, there's damage reduction mechanics, and there's debuff mechanics on this one champion. What else can she do? Can she buff? Absolutely. Bestow heals self and nearby allies. Heals herself and nearby allies and gives everybody the raised defense buff. So that's like a 70% increase defense just from this. That's ridiculously powerful. Gives enemies the gift of bees. Summons a wave of bees to harass enemies. When an enemy is struck by one, it will be followed and struck many times. On first hit, removes a buff. It buffs. It strips. It does everything. It attack. It protect. It support. It does everything. Everything. This is so ridiculous. This is why I said the light one's probably better. Like, I don't know that there's a lot of argument around that. So that brings us to Beatrice. The nature. So to be or not to be, we just went through that. Once again, that's that great passive we talked about. Begrudge sends a pet bee to harass an enemy, beleaguering them with repeated attacks. The skill has multiple charges. Damage will be based on move speed. So we'll have to see how that is. She also has that defense buff, which is super nice. Bee NATO summons 2 cyclones of bee that rotate in opposite directions around her periodically, dealing damage. Should an enemy be struck for the first time, it stuns. Bonus damage will be based on... Now, see, it just says it stuns. It doesn't say there's a chance to stun. It doesn't say anything. It just says stuns. Well, we'll see. Hopefully that's just an auto stun. That'd be amazing. DB, the water one. Bee Wilder. Attacks enemies with their stinger. Passive. After using a skill, each pet bee fires a projectile at the first enemy to be in range. Once again, bonus damage is based on move speed. Summons a cloud of bees that rotate around her, repeatedly damaging nearby enemies. Should an enemy be struck for the first time, inflicts ongoing damage. Each enemy can be hit a maximum of 5 times. Bonus damage will be based on move speed. I'm really interested to see how that actually works as far as stacking ongoing damage. We'll see. Once again, this is like one of the things where not only do you got to build this dude, you got to get her all skilled up. So we'll see. Bee Siege. Dashes in a direction with the wall of bees, gaining haste, bonus damage based on speed, which is great. There can be only one. A little Highlander reference there. Fantastic. Stings an enemy really hard. Raises attack when cast. Passive. Each time a nearby enemy is killed, gain 2 stacks of strength. Bonus damage will be based on target's missing HP percent. That's cool. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but that sounds cool. I'm not a big fan of the somebody has to die in order for your champion to get stronger mechanic in general, because I need to kill them first. Phoebe, the fire bee queen. Bebop fires lasers to damage opponents. Once again, this will be based on move speed. The passive, after using a skill, each pet bee fires a projectile at the first enemy to be in range. So be it. Sends one giant bee in direction which detonates on the first enemy struck. Once again, I really think this is a bomber type skill. Bee bombardment. This is bombards an area with a swarm of bees at a destination. Bee detonates in a small explosion, deals damage and lowers defense. Once again, just like with the dark one, I'm curious, does it lower defense and then deal damage? That would be better. Bee Reeve. Oh, these bee puns are getting out of control. Gives enemies the gift of bees. Summons a wave of bees to harass enemies. When an enemy is struck by one, it will be followed and struck many times. On first hit, inflicts fear. Target can only be followed by a single bee. I like area of effect multi-target fears. That sounds cool. We'll have to see how that works, though. That does sound pretty darn cool. So in my personal opinion, I think like the nature one and the light one have a lot of potential. The white one seems, the light one seems amazing. If everything works and the AI is good, but we'll have to see. We'll have to do some testing. They'll have to get played out a little bit. And then of course it's April Fool's, so we'll have to see if this is even real, right? Because that would not surprise me at all. All right, let me know what you think of the bees. Drop your comments down in the description. As always, thanks for watching the videos. Have a great day.